Well, so, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Aryan Talks. I'm your host, come whatever. I'm the best audience as we speak. Best audience the filmmaker can get. I am Aryan, and also please share, share, and subscribe this channel. Okay, so now we have with us here. I mean, see, Varun, I am not a YouTuber. This is my first time.
Okay.
It's been 1 month or 2 months, so don't be scared if I say anything. Okay. So we are here with Varun, Singh, Rajput, and Siddanth. Siddanth is our veteran here. You know him. So these people have made a beautiful film called Joy. It's on mxplayer and hungamaplay. And trust me, it's really beautiful. You should watch it. And we're going to discuss Joy with the writer Siddanth and actor come director Varun Singh Rajput here. So first of all, congratulations both of you for having, such a beautiful film, of making such a beautiful film. I don't know what you guys took in to write it. It was really beautiful and very refreshing. Normally I have a certain taste of films. I don't gravitate towards a particular we discussed, right, Siddanth? That how I don't understand a particular kind of films and all. That Wes Anderson example you gave.
Yeah.
I am that kind of guy who would walk out. Who would love Terminator 2 or big bonanzas films like that. But trust me, I really like Joy.
Thank you so much.
Having that taste and liking a film like Joy, that's the achievement. If the audience comes with preconceived notions and you're still winning the audience, I think that's an achievement in itself. Both of you. So I want to discuss the film with you. I have my doubts. I have some people who have posted questions. Let's discuss it. Okay. First thing, I want to ask Siddanth, because you're the writer. Both of you are writers. So I want to ask you both. What did Joy mean to you when you started off? Like, where did the thought originate? Like, why did you want to pursue? What was there in it? Of course, it was reflective on screen, but what else did you see that you pursued this line of thought?
To start with, we were in the middle of pandemic, so we were coming to terms with our own life struggles. We did not know where anything would land. So I had a 2-page story. I had a 2-page premise, a longer premise sort of a thing for Joy. And Varun Bhai at the same time wanted to make something that is structured around 2 people and something that is really cozy in terms of a narrative. So that's when I narrated this 2-page idea to him, and then we got on to sort of dig deeper into it, and that's how Joy came to life. And through the process of writing Joy, we were cleansing our own struggles. We were coming to terms with our own battles, inner demons.
Yes.
So to say. That any artist traditionally goes through.
So Varun, what did Joy mean to you when you started?
It all started with the thought, like we both were discussing, and like Sid said, it was during the pandemic, and Sid has written something, and that character name was Joy, and I'm like, dude, this is such a nice name. And like that day, our conversation ended, and then the other day I called him, and I'm like, dude, can we just do something around this name? And then he was like, yeah, we can. And he had things in his mind and stuff. And that is how and when we decided to create something around that subject. And it is like Sid said, ki it's something like during that entire process we started shedding our own, like
Mhm.
it was somewhere. It's
Mhm.
joy is me, joy is Sid. Maybe I don't know if you like the film
Yes,
somehow
yes,
or
yes, yes.
somewhere.
I did like.
It's in everyone, like and
Yes.
like people are writing me and they are watching the film and then they are like, I know that you guys have dealt with the issue, like,
Hmm.
though the budget and all of that is something which is very secondary, but when it comes to the storyline and everything, we all have faced something like that in our life,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
and that is what joy is. I mean,
Right.
it's very ironic to the name, but somehow we like. I'm glad
It
that people
is.
are liking it, and I'm like more than grateful that Sid was there on board. And had
Mhm.
he not been there, like joy wasn't even there. On like
Let me
Sid's
point
story.
you one thing. It's not ironic that his name is Joy. It is beautiful that his name is Joy and he's trying to find
Trying to find the
joy.
joy. Yeah, that
Joy.
is what I'm saying. Like that was the main reason behind the name. Like Sid
Yes,
has this
yes.
name, and I'm like, dude, this is such a nice name. Can we just try and do something around it? And
Right,
then
right.
he narrated something, and we started working on that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So it was more or less like, yeah, it is like it's in us, and now so it's in you, it's in all of them,
Yeah.
whomsoever is watching the film. So I'm glad that
Yes.
people are seeing it and liking it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes. So, I mean, first of all, I didn't ask this question. What's your background, Varun, if I may ask, like, which you have done
So
study?
I'm an engineer turned actor. I did my theater, I was working, I was designing robots and all, and then all of a sudden,
You were
uh,
sorry.
I was designing robots in Pune. I was a
Okay.
mechanical engineer, and then after that, I was like, I always wanted to do this, like become an actor. But then, and I did few films, like in Hindi and one in
Mhm.
Telugu and all of that, which I
Which
did.
ones, if I may say? If I-
Yeah, so Hindi mein I did Indu Sarkar was my debut film,
Which
directed
one?
by Madhur. Indu Sarkar.
Indu Sarkar.
Indu
Acha,
Sarkar.
acha. Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah, directed by Madhur
Madhur
Bhandarkar.
Banarkar. Yes.
Then I did Gold, directed by Reema Kakti.
Rima Gandhi. Yes.
Yeah, and after that I did Bypass Road and State of Siege 2611, one web series for Z5,
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
and lot of commercials and one Telugu film to start with back in 2014. That was my first film. Like nobody knows about it. Sardar Gabbar Singh. I played a very chotu sa
Acha.
microsecond ka part in that film.
Wow.
So yeah, all of that happened, and then here I am. So yeah.
Wow, wow. Fantastic.
So,
Fantastic.
Varun bhai, you're an engineer turned actor. He's an engineer come actor.
Okay, okay, okay.
He's still,
Hmm.
yeah, he's
It,
still from
it will
but
soon
Aryan is
be
still from.
turning, hopefully it will soon be turning actor, engineer turned actor.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Okay,
Uh,
nice. All the best.
yeah, thank you. Thank you. So, uh, this question I have for both of you. Where did you find a girl?
Where did
Where,
I?
where did you
So,
find the girl? Because, see, it's, one beautiful thing about the girl who did the character,
uh-huh,
Deepika, is
uh-huh.
because, I mean, her smile itself is contagious.
Oh,
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
very contagious in nature. I mean, she's someone whom I can find in my nearby house at my street and as well.
Girl next door. Yeah, yeah,
Girl
yeah,
next door, and at the same
yeah.
time, she carries a smile which has some sort of divinity. I mean, especially when you bottil addanga petti and then when
Yeah,
she smiles
yeah,
there, it is pretty contagious in nature. So, what went into casting her? Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure if I was the casting director, 95% would go to smile and 5% to her acting ability.
No, so there's a very interesting story around it. Like, so there was this girl who was playing the Lipika in the film, and she was
Uh-huh.
from Bombay.
Uh-huh.
And because of the lockdown bit, so right like 3 days before the shoot, she's like, "Ki Varun, I won't be able to make it because my parents are not allowing me to travel alone. And me being an independent filmmaker, I was like, I can't afford to have more people on set. Like, she was like, yeah, I can't just be alone. So, would you mind if my family or someone from them, like, if they could come and stay with us? And I was like, it'll be really difficult. So then she was like, hey, I think I just can't come. So then, so this girl who was there, so apparently, not apparently, she was my art director for the film. So she's the one who did art for the film also. And then, being an indie filmmaker, I was like, I called Sidhu and I'm like, what do I do? And then he was like, like, even if I'll try and find someone from Hyderabad also, it'll take some time for them also to go there and be there and,
Yes.
to play the part and all that rehearsals and everything. And then I started taking auditions, whomsoever is there on the set, like all my ADs, all the girls who were there on set, my makeup artist, my assistant director, my art director. There were a few other there was this girl in sound department also, and then somehow so her name is Khadija said. So I was like, have you ever done anything before? And she was like, no, 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 I didn't do anything. I was on set of Masaba Masaba. That show is there on Netflix.
Yes,
So
yes.
she's like, this is what they did. They were like, you come, some actress, she didn't show up on the day when that Masaba Masaba ka shoot was happening. So they forced her to do that bit in the show. And I'm like, would you mind, like, please audition for the partner? And she was like, no, I don't. I've been there. I don't want to do it. And then we gave her the monologue, which was there in the end, like that entire letter
Yes, yes. Letter plan. Yes.
to her. And dude, she read it. She read the entire thing, and then she was like, "I only have one condition. I'll go and I'll self-record the entire test."
Mhm.
She took it with her. She went back home. She recorded the entire bit in, like, I guess in 2 hours. I saw initial 5 minutes, like 2 3 minutes. I won't say 5 minutes, and then I immediately sent the entire tape to Sidhu. And I'm like, dude, this is what it is. And he was like, bang on. Yeah, she's our Lipika. And I'm like, are you sure? He's like, I'm 200% sure. And I'm like, yeah, I just wanted to have some sort of confirmation. So yeah, so that is how and when we decided. And that girl, she not even did the art or the Lipika part. She was also, though it was my first film and everyone on set was like first as the technician wala bit. So she was taking care of costume continuity, script supervising, and playing the part in the film. So yeah, that is how we found our Lipika somehow.
You know what I like about independent filmmakers or the aspect. I mean, even I have done some independent films. I have been in part of short films and all. The best part is everything happens like that.
Yeah,
You get what you want then and there itself. There is no
yeah,
choice for us also. I mean, it's so wonderful that someone as reluctant as her, she came to the set and did what she did.
yeah.
Trust me, I would kill to have a friend like Deepika in my life.
Same here, same here, same here.
Same here.
Like for us, she
You
was
just
like the she was like the real Lipika in our life, as a
oh
filmmaker. She came and then she changed the entire world of our set. I'm
yes.
saying the world which we were
Wow.
trying to create, and then we are sitting here and talking to each other.
And
So it
yeah,
was like that.
she has an instrumental part to play in that as well.
Yes.
And again, like just to add on to what Varun bhai just mentioned, it's one thing for a human being to look like a particular character, and
Character.
it's another thing altogether for a character to feel like, for a human being to feel like
Yes. Yes.
Lipika.
Absolutely.
So the moment I saw Khadija, like he had sent a snapshot before he sent me the audition tape of Khadija being Lipika. So when I saw the just by the mere snap, and I don't know, there's something that felt Lipika inside her. You
Yeah.
feel, I felt Lipika. I felt when he had sent saying that we found our Lipika, that's what I felt. I felt Lipika. And as
And
writers, we always have a certain imagination of how a character would look like, and she just
got
she's
there.
Yeah.
Yes, she just got
learned
She
the
there.
lines
owned
fast.
it. Yeah, she
She
like
owned it.
owned
He
the
owned it.
entire thing.
Yes.
And one more thing about that kumkum, I don't know what do we call it in Hindi, and
Yes.
like, so I am a huge fan of Malayalam films and stuff. And back in those days, like during the lockdown, I was watching all the Fahad films and every single film. I was not leaving anything. And I have certain inclination towards, like South Indian
Hmm.
culture and everything.
Hmm.
And she was there on set, and we were like, okay, so we did all the trials and costume trials, and everything was happening. And all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, so she. And back in those days, uske baal, she had straightened her hair.
Hmm.
And one fine day when she came on set, and I'm like, dude, did you do anything with your hair? And she's like, these are my natural curls. And I'm like, every day I'm seeing you with straight hairs. Can you just keep them like that? And she's like, yeah, okay. So then I told her, like, my makeup artist, and then I showed her one picture, and then she went inside, and then she put that kumkum and everything. I'm like, that is what we want. That's
Yeah.
about it. That's it.
You know,
That's our Lipika,
funny fact is that we go after luxurious things, luxurious items in life, and see how simple is beauty, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
Just this
yeah,
beauty.
yeah. And no makeup, no
No,
makeup,
I
no
could see
makeup
that
throughout
actually.
the
I could
film.
see that.
No makeup, nothing. We were like, we can't just. I just want it to be as raw as it
As
could
well,
be
as well.
because,
we had sort of resorted to minimalism in that sense. We
yeah,
really
that's
keep the minimal.
Trust me, man. If you can make bigger films like with the same kind of mindset, because beauty is very simple actually.
Yeah.
All you have to do is
exactly,
smile. All you have to do
exactly.
is smile. Right. So
And so,
okay, I because I had a question for her. I thought she would be also joining us. I had a question for her. I
there's
thought,
this timing ka issue. So she lives in
Yeah.
Kuwait, and I did tell her about that. And then they get these, and she's married and all. So they
अच्छा,
get, weekends with the family and stuff.
हम्म,
And it's like in Kuwait, it's like 11 or 12 or something. So she was like, if we could, and I like, yeah. So yeah,
Hey, you
that
could
was
have
it.
asked me about timing, man. I could have done something. Fair enough. That's all right.
So maybe for the second round we can try like
Absolutely.
someday with the
Sure, sure. Okay. So actually, if she was there, I wanted to ask her this question, like when she's speaking or when she's working on the character, what is her basic nativity? Because normally in South India, we do this one.
yeah,
In North,
yeah.
like
We do.
it's circle. And
Hmm.
then the accent that she's speaking, it's probably somewhere some proper Maharashtra city guys,
Uh-huh.
and some part like there was Punjabi. So I wanted to ask her.
North.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
North was also there, and all kinds of
Yeah,
thing was there. So I
yeah.
was a bit confused on. But then
No.
one dialogue that Sid has written, Lipika is
Uh-huh.
Lipika. So I mean,
Lipika hai. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
so I didn't have questions, but still I wanted to ask her what did she base on her character. I mean, it's not a writer's arena. I mean, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
right,
Siddanth
right.
can't answer this question, but
Yeah,
as an
yeah,
actor,
Varun
how
Bhai has to answer that question because there are a lot of things that he has improvised and interpreted and made his own while making and executing the film.
So with us, it was like maybe she had traveled a lot, like like to
yes,
different
yes,
different
she
part
did.
of the city
I
and spaces. And then when we as a person, what we do is like हम कहीं पे गए, हमको
hmm,
वहाँ का कुछ अच्छा लगा,
hmm.
फिर हम वो हमारा एक हिस्सा हो जाता है. Like,
Right, right.
like somehow it becomes our own thing. And then she being a writer, and she was like, okay, like in her head, she was from Delhi. Like
Hmm,
she lives in Delhi. She was born in South India, raised in
hmm.
different parts of the country.
Yeah.
So it was like an amalgamation of a lot of different things.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's why she was carrying that entire the totality with the culture which she was carrying with her was
Hmm.
like okay, okay. Like when she was nervous and stuff, she was very mellow and mild, and then she has a particular pattern to talk, to deliver the scene and
Aligned,
stuff.
yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I'm talking about the scenes, like in the
Right.
scene.
Hmm, hmm.
Abhi wahan pe when she's more open and more like a friend, then she would come across with a little bit of Punjabi and all that. because she had lived her life in Delhi and
in
stuff.
various
So,
places. Yes,
yeah,
this is a fine
and
explanation actually. I mean, I wouldn't have thought about myself. It's a fine explanation.
so,
I was
so
thinking,
it
what
was
is it? This
it was yeah. So it was more or less about that thing,
hmm,
She had been because she was reading and writing and doing all
right,
those
right.
things.
Hmm.
So maybe somehow she had all those influences and जिधर
Hmm.
से उसको जो अच्छा लगा उसने वो थोड़ा
पकड़ लिया, पकड़
वो
लिया.
थोड़ा उसने
Bits and
वो
pieces,
लिया.
yeah.
Yes.
This is very
Like
interesting.
this like me as a person, I'm minus her part or her role in the film. I'm like, so my father was in army and we traveled like a lot of different places in India. So when I'm in Hyderabad, I speak Deccani Hindi. When I'm in Bombay, I speak Mumbaiya Hindi. When I'm in Varanasi, I speak a little bit of
Uttar
Bhojpuri
Pradesh.
with the Hindi.
Yes, yes,
But when I'm in Delhi, I'm like full Delhi. I'm in Punjab, that Punjabi comes in
yes,
very
yes,
naturally.
yes.
So कहीं ना कहीं I had that thing in my mind and also there was one very interesting story with her कि मैंने बोला ना कि she was like tailor made for the character. Sometimes
Yes.
you don't choose a person for the role. It's like ऊपर से ईश्वर ने उसको चुना था उस काम के लिए और वो बनी उस काम के लिए थी and then she just vanished. She like a lot of people have called me after watching the film ki like dude can we get her number? We would want to audition her for this part, that part, and this. And I'm like, dude, she's not in this business anymore. She had just left the line only. So
And
and yeah, say sorry.
yeah, like bad fortune. But हमारे लिए good fortune, but yeah.
Somehow for us, yeah, somehow for us it was. And we were like, and as a director, it was all delight, like she would just read the script, like you
Yeah.
just give her the line, she would go, she'll do apne tarike se. There were days, of course, because she wasn't a trained actor, and we were shooting it in a very um, tight wala scenario. हम बाहर नहीं जा सकते, हमें अंदर रहना है. फिर उस if I'm doing one scene here, she's managing set there, preparing the set, and then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, light jari hai, let's just do that scene now. So she's doing the artwork for the thing, for the scene, for the coming scene, and then suddenly I'm like, no, you go inside,
Yeah,
you
come
change your
here.
costume, become Lepika, and come here and sit there. And she would just become Lepika. So it was very magical for me as a creative person. I'm like, every day me and Sidhu, we were on call and I'm like, I don't know. We were trying to make some sort of independent film. And then somehow I was feeling like, yeah, as if I'm working on a very bada sa
बड़ा
set
सा हाँ.
and all that,
Some
like
tent
I
pole,
worked
tent
on it.
pole.
Yeah, something like that. Something magical was happening every day, man. It was like once in a lifetime experience.
Yeah, great things
Yeah,
just happen.
yeah.
Great
Great
things just
experiences,
happen.
not things, not necessarily a thing, but great experiences just
Great
happen.
experiences. Yes.
Experiences.
You
Yeah,
can
yeah.
So
never.
it is a great thing actually.
Yeah.
And one more thing I wanted to talk to you guys is that see, it has that tinge of commercial, uh, area. I mean, it can be pushed to mainstream.
Yeah.
Are there any? I mean, it's such a nice film. It doesn't make you feel bored at all. You'll sit with the film. You can't even pause it because you want to see through what's happening. I
Yeah.
mean, all these things are very simple things. I mean, this is not very complicated ones or um, confronting your fears and all. Sometimes for some people it doesn't come natural. Like the lead actor in the film. Some people, like family people, we don't have choice. We don't have choice but to confront our fears. Our fears will be right. Once you open the door, it will be right there. It's different for us, but that those little things do matter. So it was very entertaining. Are there any plans for pushing it to mainstream? Some say Netflix or anything like that.
That's what, man. Like, I mean, hope so. Like, why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we want a streamer like Netflix to come in place? And but then these things can't be planned again. These things can't be planned.
But I would love to see this one on Netflix because it has that entertainment. I wouldn't. I mean, even the trailer also,
Uh,
the way that she speaks and all, इस टाइम पे सूर्य नमस्कार कौन करता है? All that. I mean, it sounded so mainstream, even the trailer also. So I'm pretty sure people can give it a go if you try to push it.
Like with us, it was like, so for me, I'm like, so I was telling Sidhu ki, dude, this would be my first, like, though. So I did one more film back in 2018 with Gibindu Bhattacharya sir, and that film was totally complete. Like, puri banne ke baad it got shelved. So because my director somehow decided to not release the film, and we were like, yeah, okay. And then somehow this time I was like, ki, whatever I'll do, I'll release this film, no matter what. Jo bhi hoga, I'll go through everything, but मेरे को release करना है. And then we all are filmy bachas, okay? Like we all are filmy kids, and hum bachpan se we've been watching everything and stuff like that, and being Shah Rukh fan, and so like worked with Pawan Kalyan and people like them and Akshay Kumar. And like in all those films, they have this entry, and I always dreamt about that entry thing. And I would do yoga with my book, like inward, this the thing which I did in the start. And
Yes,
I've
yes.
rehearsed that thing, and I'm like, I don't want this, like, but being an independent
You had a
filmmaker,
grand entry actually.
yeah, I was like, I don't know about anything. I want my start and end to be very filmy. This I was very clear, and Sidhu was like, dude, you're not understanding. We are making this. I'm like, yeah, we are making the film. It's okay, but somehow it's a film, right? And like we've always loved their entries and their this
Yes.
and bigger
Yes.
than life wala thing. But somehow we had to, हमको reality भी नहीं छोड़नी थी. So whatever we did, it was like uska jo periphery, whatever we have decided, that entire periphery, it was in that zone only. Ki like, okay, this guy, he's waking up in the morning reading his book, okay, and then doing his this asana,
Awesome.
okay,
Yeah.
Sirsasana. And before, initially it was some other character. So like he was a smoker and everything. So I don't know many people have noticed this or not. But then in that scene, because we've shot it on the very first day, so in that scene, the guy is smoking cigarette, doing Sirsasana and reading the book. But then somehow it was like, and we were every day we were shooting that scene, and somehow it was not coming across. Like when we were sham ko jab hum baith ke wo scene dekhte the, it was not like the same, because there on set, on the big budget films, you use automated Jimmy and 360 drives and everything you have there. And we were like using all the jugaad. Okay, we were making Rassi,
Yeah.
putting pulley, and playing with gimbal. And one day, like one of my DOP and my assistant director, उसने उसको ऐसा कंधे पे ऐसे लिया and what not. We tried a lot of things for that scene.
Yes.
But yeah, so like coming back to your question, like somehow it was there कि for me as a director, मेरे को ऐसा लगा कि इसको boring नहीं करेंगे. मतलब ऐसा ना हो जाए कि people like they are watching it and then they are shutting the film बीच में and then they are going and not doing anything, or they are scrolling their mobile phones or doing something else, And so it was there, but we didn't try. The thing is that I didn't try for the filmy part. The only thing which I had in my mind was the entry. Okay, and that too because the guy was into yoga and everything. So initially I was like, okay, and we discussed about that also. But I'm like, there are so many films, and every like Arjun Reddy was there, and वो पूरे picture में he's smoking cigarette. And the last film which I did, that character was like a chain smoker, and then पूरा film में he was like drinking throughout the film. The film which is unreleased now. So I'm like, I'm not going to do the same with this film again. So we did that scene, but I'm like, okay, maybe he realizes the fact that he will not smoke. तो उसको वहां से हटा देते हैं, because he's very fickle-minded. कि somehow he's doing something and then एक ऐसा पल आता है जिसमें he thinks, no, I don't want to do it, and then he shuts his entire emotion. तो फिल्मी पार्ट रहा होगा क्योंकि so I also did a lot of stand-up gigs in my life as a stand-up comedian and all that underground gigs I
But we
did.
have so much more common than you think.
Okay. So, somehow it was like, so that dry humor thing was there in the film. And we tried, like, let's hope कि आगे हम और अच्छा, मतलब ऐसा ऐसा ही कंटेंट होना चाहिए। और मेरी और सिद्धू की हमेशा से यही बात रही कि लाइक इसका जो फर्स्ट कट था वो 4.5-5 घंटे का था। एंड
Yeah.
जो हमने देखा था, एंड पीपल आर वाचिंग इट एंड देन दे वर लाइक, डू convert it into a web series. Why would you want to cut anything? It's like reading a long, long novel. You're reading one chapter, then you would want to read another chapter, and so many things were there in the film. But then, like I was like, okay, me being nobody knows me or the Lipika or any other thing. So the only thing which we have in our hand is like the story. And I would want this entire janta to sit and see this full film. Like usually we also do a lot of things like that. मतलब I don't do, if I've अगर मैंने कोई फिल्म शुरू करी है तो मैं वो पूरी देखता ही हूँ, क्योंकि अपने को तो कैसा है कि you have that empathy, right? Like this guy उसने किस माहौल में और किस उसमें फिल्म बनाई होगी, and then eventually you are so much into the film that you start liking the film, but then it's like almost an hour निकल चुका होता है. So with this, I was having a lot of things in my mind. So, okay, 20 minutes, this, and that. And then once Lipika is there, so the film तो फिर निकलने ही लग जाती है एकदम से.
Yeah, it was really busy. Also, to
Yeah.
add on to this, Aryan, like that is where the challenge lied. To be very honest, to structure a film, like to make a film that is structured around two people and yet make it eventful, make it engaging,
Yes.
uh,
Yes.
make it enriching.
And the best part is, I mean, see, these are not, very bigger things. She asked him to play Antakshari.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you get my point. And it's still entertaining and engaging. It's still going on. So, okay, moving on to my next question. This is from your audience, the one that we have we have been discussing on WhatsApp as well. So, as a writer, I'll ask you this question: what happened to the father? Why did you leave him in the middle?
So, like that was the idea. That was the idea. While writing itself, when we were writing the script and when we were discussing, this particular point was always raised by the both of them. But then, of course, there is a father. There are problems that Joy has with his father. There is a troubled past, but then we never tried to dig deeper into that particular aspect because there was a lot more going inside the narrative as it is. So the mother-son conflict was already there, and this character wanting to write a book, that want was already there, and him being stuck in an emotional bubble, and him having problems dealing with his ex, like past love life. All these factors were already there and already in place, and we just thought ki bringing the father angle into it and completing it or completing that arc would be too much for a narrative to hold, and especially too much for a narrative like Joy, because this particular film was about Joy coming to terms with his own life struggles. It was not about his struggle with his father. That is just one angle or one subplot. So instead of opening that subplot and instead of opening that particular angle in the narrative, we tried to stick with what was there and what was more important and essential to Joy's life. What has impacted Joy's life more is what we wanted to emphasize on. And
As
we thought
audience,
father's thing was
fair
somewhere a little, it was not impacting him or affecting him to the level that his mother's exit from life or his mother's angle affected him. So that is what we wanted to emphasize on. Hence, we left the father's and angle ambiguous. That, like, when we had this discussion, we already thought of alternatives, but we stuck to कि कुछ चीजें अगर it's some things are better left unsaid in that aspect. So that is the basic idea behind not revealing the father son angle or not delving into the father son angle.
No, I actually, as audience, my expectation would be, just picking up his call, because see, I have watched the film. I have not talked to you before the film. I was not involved in the filming. As an audience, when I watched it, my and my immediate thought was him and his father are not speaking because his mother left away. Mother left. Okay. Now when that mother issue, I mean, this is my assumption. When the mother issue got resolved, my automatic expectation is father's issue will always also be resolved because it's connected to the mother. So this is my expectation as an audience. I mean,
we just opened a Pandora's box with that particular carrion. So
But then, if you have noticed, I don't know, but like there was also very subtle thing. So while he's reading that letter, the last letter, so there was this phone call which comes in, and he picks that phone and he goes inside the room. So those parting, like जब आपको वो दिखता है, in the end there was his dad का call only, which he receives. But then we've not shown anything there. What
yes,
did so stuff like that? Maybe not. We wanted to keep it like that only because it's like we were not making a filmy film somehow, and we were like, okay, if we are going to give every answer to their question, then it'll be like they'll have this feeling, oh, it's good. And coming back to your question, a lot of people have asked me also the same thing. Why was he not like? Why? What was the fuss around the entire thing and stuff like that? And I'm like, you have your own answer.
if I
You
may,
know.
Siddanth, have you watched this film? Okay, Jeevitam.
yes, I did. Yeah.
Yes, you saw what I'm talking about. I mean, see, mother's issue.
Of course. How once the mother's angle was
Yes,
fixed, and then
yes,
he went on to the father, and that was resolved.
that
I
is the
understand.
result.
I understand what you're. I understand where you're getting to, but then
Yes.
with this film, it was also us trying to make the audience active participators of the narrative. We wanted to leave something for the audience to also feel dissatisfied about. We did not want them to leave satisfied with
Yeah.
every aspect of Joy's
Well,
life, because Joy
very cruel.
is just about to embark on a
I,
journey of
I, I get what you're saying. Yes.
discovery. Yeah.
To be on a funny note, it was very cruel of you that.
Apologies, man. But then, yeah.
No, kidding. Okay.
Yeah.
One more question that we have from our audience is that for you actually, Varun. The other question, what went into the preparation of portraying Joy's character, and any learnings do you have from the scene?
Preparation as in, dude, it was in there. It was like I said before, we all have the joy in ourselves. Like हमने कभी ना कहीं वो एक दौर देखा होता है. We all have lived that part, been there, done that wala scene. And then there was this one Chotu phase in my life where I've seen a lot of things like that because of my background and because of a lot of things in life. As you know, like I did so-called engineering and working, and I had a very good life and well-paid job and everything. And then all of a sudden, I decided I always wanted to do that, but then in this like world ke information or knowledge ke hisab se, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to follow my thing. And then there was this phase in my life which was very low, and people were not there, and yeah. So and coming back to the preparation part, it's like, so with actors we have this emotional memories and stuff. We take थोड़ा थोड़ा कहीं ना कहीं से किसी को ऐसा देखा होता है, कहीं कुछ ऐसा हुआ होता है, वो हम उठा के लेके आ जाते हैं. I only had one thing in my mind, and one more thing, like lot of things were there on paper, okay. But I just wanted him to be अंदर का, like अंदर वाला इंसान, कि he's not someone who is very expressive, and and there were a lot of things which जो मैंने मेरे लाइफ से उठाए कुछ चीजें और वैसी सब चीजों को वो किया. बाकी तो स्टोरी इतनी अच्छी लिखी गई थी. You should say thanks to Sidhu and the write up which we did.
It's your faith and belief that made this possible at the end of the day. Because you gave it all for joy. He gave it all for joy. He went on a liquid diet. He's not talking about all those physically
That
daunting spaces that he's gone into. But then
yeah.
he's given it all. He's given it all. He was on liquid
Like
diet for.
I did like I quit all the like I was a very heavy meat eater and everything, and I quit everything. And like for 3 4 months, I would say like I was on totally sattvic diet, no garlic, no ginger, no onion, nothing, no oil.
Sattvic
I
diet.
was having so a lot of totally. So waking up early in the morning and like all those things, to get into that zone. I learned yoga for that, and I never did yoga. I used to go to the gym and lift weight. But for this, like all the physical prep was there, but internal, I was more like talking about the internal bit, which was quite like yes, because it get मतलब देखो intense तो हो जाता है because after finishing the film, I was into that zone because I was sitting on the edit, the DI, the music, and everything. So, and right after that, I did one more film in December the same year. Like I started writing the other film, and then which would जो हमने 2021 में shoot की. So start के 3 दिन तो मैं joy के zone में ही चल रहा था. Okay, the joy was coming with me on set and everything, but somehow, तो preparation का तो वही था यार. Physical तो यार we all can do. It's more about the internal thing, that silence जो चाहिए था उस किरदार के लिए, that subtlety which was important, that all those things were really difficult for me. But then yes, you do meditation has helped me a lot, like a lot to actually get into the skin of the character. There was something which I did like that, जिसने वो बोलते हैं ना कि आपको एक सुर मिल जाता है, तो वो सुर जो सुर था ना, yeah, that sur was like after shooting the film for like 2 days, 2 दिन के बाद मुझे सुर मिला था. 2 दिन शूट हो चुका था and I was I was still searching for that actual joy, what joy is, Like though I had a lot of references in my life, but then I'm like, how am I going to portray that? And the world was so chaotic. You are being an independent filmmaker and directing it for the first time. And I was there on set, and every other person on set was the first timer. They all were doing their first film, like ADs and costume, and only Khadija, like she did projects before, and yeah, तो उसके अलावा सभी लोगों का first time था, और and we all were like multitasking. So एक्शन बोल रहा हूँ, हियर एवरीथिंग इज chaotic and I'm like, मैं मेरे बाल नोच रहा हूँ कि अरे क्या है, ये क्या है, वो क्या है. एक सीन में मैंने पार्ले जी खाया, पार्ले जी यहाँ रखा है, कट्टू. दूसरा सीन में सीन 4 शूट कर रहा हूँ जो 2 दिन के बाद का है, द सेम सेटअप बट एवरीथिंग इज सेम एंड वी, और हम सब पहली बार कर रहे हैं वो एज इट इज रह गया. और मैं कैमरे के आगे तो जॉय बन जा रहा हूँ ना, सो आई एम लाइक आई डोंट हैव टू थिंक अबाउट इट. But then me being the director also, so जैसे एक कट हुआ, I'm like, dude, we were shooting scene 4. How could like ये same कैसे है? Then we are fixing everything and starting everything. So it was very, but मैं तो बोलूंगा दोस्त कि मैं पिछले 8 साल से काम कर रहा हूँ, 8 9 साल से बॉम्बे में. लेकिन ये 2 फिल्में जो मैंने की, एक जॉय जॉय मेरी पहली फिल्म थी एज अ मेकर, लाइक डायरेक्टर एंड एक्टर एंड वैसे, और दूसरी काला. तो इन फिल्मों से जो सीखा और जितना सीखा उतना मैंने शायद फिल्म स्कूल, मेरा कोई फिल्म स्कूल का नॉलेज है नहीं, तो दीज फिल्म्स आर लाइक माय एक्चुअल फिल्म स्कूल. एंड आई हैव लर्नड एवरीथिंग एंड एनीथिंग ऑन ये फिल्मों के सेट पे. नाउ यू कैन क्वेश्चन मी अबाउट कैमरा एंगल्स एंड बिट रेट एंड साउंड का थिंग. एंड लाइक आई हैव आल्सो had have this. I am very privileged to have Sidhu in my life because like there were a lot of questions in me because मैं सिर्फ एक एक्टर था इससे पहले. बट अभी मैं ये कह सकता हूँ कि चलो मुझे मुझे नॉलेज है. मैं ये नहीं कहूँगा मुझे सब कुछ पता है, बट मुझे थोड़ा पता है कि ठीक है, एटलीस्ट नाउ आई कैन सेट एंड मेक film, or like I can mount something, for future and stuff. And Sidhu was very patient throughout the entire journey. Like when we were writing also, so he would tell me all those things, like there are a lot of questions which you should do, and he would make me write a lot of things. you don't know this, you should question this, like these are the things which you should ask to your character, and these all things. तो जो सिद्धू ने जो क्वेश्चनेयर दिए थे, जो करवाए ना, उन सब चीजों ने भी जॉय एज अ कैरेक्टर जो बन के निकल के आया, उसमें बहुत हेल्प की, लाइक कि ओके, उसके अंदर जाना और उसके बारे में सोचना और करना। हम एज एन एक्टर करते हैं, हमारी एक सेट ऑफ पैटर्न होता है, हम जाते हैं, हम 2-3 जनरेशन पकड़ते हैं, कैरेक्टराइजेशन भी करते हैं, बट देन वी वर आल्सो राइटिंग साइमल्टेनियसली, so we knew a lot of things about the guy. So somehow it all helped me being portraying that part in the film. So yeah.
And also we were not commissioned writers and we were not commissioned actors on
Right.
this set.
On the set, yeah.
We could explore a plethora of outcomes, and we could try and test stuff. We were not at the mercy of somebody else's time and
Yes,
money, and there
yes,
was
yes,
not
yes.
there's always this confinement when you're working for somebody or when you're commissioned to work for somebody. But that angle, once that angle was put aside, there were a lot of things that we got to explore through the process of writing Joy, is what I would like to.
Writing, directing, editing, and
Yeah,
everything. I'm like, dude, this entire film was like film school, man. Like,
yeah.
और बहुत मजा आया दोस्त। और मतलब मुझे, ठीक है, मैं बिल्कुल नहीं बोलूंगा एडिट, राइटिंग और कलर ग्रेडिंग और किसी भी चीज के बारे में, लेकिन एज एन एक्टर जो सीखा वो बहुत अलग था। मतलब हम थ्रू आउट, हम हमारी पूरी जर्नी के दौरान सीखते ही रहते हैं, इट्स ऑल इन द जर्नी ओनली, लाइक व्हिच दे से। बट माय होल फंडा वाज लाइक कि जो आप कैमरे के पीछे से एक्टिंग की बारीकियां सीखते हो, वो शायद आप वहां आगे करते करते बहुत समय लग जाता होगा या बहुत ऑब्जर्वेशन लग जाती होगी, लेकिन जब आप पीछे होते हो आपको पता होता है कि ओके, इतना मुड़ना है, इतना देखना है, इतने ही इमोशंस रखने हैं, कहाँ पे कट होगा, वी शुड नॉट लाइक देवर। एंड आई तो, मी एज अ फिल्म मेकर, आई एम लाइक इम्प्रोवाइज, यू जस्ट इम्प्रोवाइज। मैं 35 मिनट के, जब तक वो मेमोरी कार्ड नहीं खत्म हो जाता था तब तक सीन चलते ही रहते थे, एंड माय डीओपी वो अपने बाल नोच रहे होते थे कि डूड बस कर खत्म हो गया, बस कर, 5 मिनट 10 मिनट, टाइम आउट एंड ऑल दोस थिंग्स, एंड आई एम लाइक ओके, जब तक चल जाएगा चल जाएगा।
Just a trivia, Aryan. Like the scene wherein the character of Joy is talking to the laptop, is conversing with the laptop.
Yes.
You know that scene, right?
Yes.
Like
Yes.
before Lipika enters
Yes. Before the
the
camera.
forest. That scene in the original 4.5 5 hour cut was around 42 minutes long. So Varun has acted for 42 minutes. He performed that particular scene for 42 minutes. There were a lot of things that. So a 42 minute. Imagine a 42 minute scene
Yeah.
getting brought down to a 3.5 minute scene. Now
Or
you
maybe less than that. I guess it's less than that
It's
now,
less
right?
than that, actually. It's
It's
less than.
yeah. Now
yeah.
it's lesser than the, yeah, but yeah, we did it for like 5 minutes, then 3.5, and you were like,
Then
yeah,
to
2.5,
yeah, then
then
it's
two,
two
and
and
we
two and
did
a half minutes now, I guess.
somehow, yeah. And there were like two cameras, one was all out and the other one was still rolling, and then it was
Yeah.
like, dude, and I was the director now. I'm like, let's boho. But and like somehow, abhi, I was, and I'll take the drive this time whenever I'm visiting Hyderabad. I'll show you the scene, Sidhu, and there are so many things. Like maybe you also remember the thing, if you remember it, like that 4.5 wala cut mein. Usme, I think I've spoken about every single thing which we have been through during that entire
Yeah,
process. I
absolutely.
guess
Absolutely.
that entire thing, like I was discussing about our journey, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was
बहुत सारी
cathartic. It
चीजें,
was really cathartic.
yeah, being in the zone, like
Yeah.
character में रह के वो बहुत सारी बातें हम बोल गए, और फिर वहां से हमने 1.5-2 मिनट काटा।
एक बात है वरुण, if I may, can you do one thing for me? Can you cut
Yeah.
that scene, upload it in Google Drive, and send the link to me? Because
I will.
if it is 42 minutes, what you're saying, then
Yeah.
we can actually turn the entire conversation into a play.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
okay. Oh, nice.
I'm speaking right? We
Yeah,
can
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
turn the whole thing into a play.
yeah,
It was a
yeah.
mono
And
act. It was a
It's
mono
mono
act.
act.
it
Mono
was
act.
totally a mono act. And there was one more scene. So when he's holding that recorder and he's saying, ki, Mom, I really miss you. That entire scene is like 20-22 minute ka scene I've cut वो 22 मिनट का सीन में से only the dialogue कि
That's
mom I
all.
really miss you,
Ma, I
that's
really miss
about
you.
that's it. So yeah, there were days and there were scenes which we sort of did.
One second, hold on. So let me get this straight. Okay. See, as an actor, I believe if I ask you, you will say you're an actor first and then a director.
Anytime.
So, as an actor, when you are giving the best performance of life, this has happened to me many times. I have worked on some short films and small films, indie films and all. I have given my best, like superb shot. The entire sequence was superb. I enjoyed it. I was jumping on the way home. And let's say it is a 2-minute scene. They used to edit out 15 seconds, 20 seconds out of it, and they used to put it. And I'm like, dude, what did I have done so much, and this is what you're, this is what you put on screen. So that's very upsetting for me. So how did you feel when you're cutting your own self?
See, it's more about the bigger picture and art of detachment, I would say. Like if in totality, if you're thinking about the film, it's like that film is more important than an individual. Though I was making it for my own self, I wanted this world to know my acting ka thing, like it was never about the direction or any other thing. I just wanted this world to see me as an actor, and then I just wanted them to offer me roles. Okay, I think if you had pulled an entire film on your own shoulder, I think you could actually play this part, that part, or whatsoever. I've never imagined myself to be in that space, like zone where I'm actually sitting there and directing, because
He directed the film
it's
because I nudged him to. Well, I
yeah,
do.
and it was like very intense, dude. Like as an actor, me, I'm telling you कि मैं as an actor, अगर मैं अभी audition देता हूँ या जो जैसा भी है, तो मैं महीने में 2 काम कर लेता हूँ यार, 2-3 काम. कुछ ads हो गए, कोई show हो गया, कुछ हो गया. But 2020 से लेकर 2022, which means it like 3 years, like 3 years, and I did 2 films, and वो भी अपनी, और 3 साल लग गए दोस्त, और अभी भी पता नहीं है कि what am I going to do next, as an actor. So, like coming back to your question, so like we should just do our job with what I have realized कि आप आपका best दो, और उसमें से आप अगर आप आपने जैसे अभी बोला कि you have acted in projects and like you did a lot of scenes, 2 मिनट 3 मिनट के scenes और वो कट के 15-20 seconds के हो जाते हैं. मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ कि अगर उन 3 मिनटों में आपने आपका 100% नहीं दिया होता, तो वो भी 20 सेकंड नहीं बचते. So my thing is, if as a filmmaker, I'm watching your 15 seconds, they are your 15 best seconds. And if I'm watching you in your best, maybe I'll offer you something depending on your 15 seconds, which I've seen on screen. So I would rather say कि like quality matters rather than quantity, So, and just detach yourself. Dude, I did Sardar Gabbar Singh. I don't know if I should say that. You can cut it, right? Are you going to edit this scene, this entire interview?
No.
You'll put it like this?
I'll put it like
Okay.
this. But it's all right. It's all right.
I
It's
don't know
a
if I should
very
say that.
nascent channel. It's a very nascent channel, so it's all right. You can
Okay.
say it.
No. My thing is like me being a Hindi belt ka guy and being there in Hyderabad. I met Bobby sir, and like I gave auditions. I think I have auditioned twice, and then they called me 2-3 times in Hyderabad. Then I was supposed to play a software engineer guy whose girl actually being kidnapped in the film, and जिसको snake gang के लोग वो करते हैं. And I was there on set, and Bobby saw me, and like I was there on set सबसे पहले, and he saw me there, and I don't know what I was doing there, and I was standing and stuff, and he looked at me, I wished him, and then he went like inside वो अंदर चले गए, and suddenly one of the AD came and he was like he wants you to audition, and I'm like again, and he's like yeah, and then I went there, I saw like 10 people, they were all reciting one line, and then they gave me the same line. I've learned those lines, and I went there, I performed. He saw me and he was like, yes, dude, okay. I don't know, yes, no, I don't know. He वो बैठे हुए थे, he stood up and then he was like, okay. And he went in. And I'm like, dude, I've lost the film. मैं क्या करने आया था, मैं क्यों जल्दी आ गया and all that thing. And suddenly the other AD came and I am like totally shocked. I'm in shock कि भैया ये क्या हो गया. मैं अच्छा खासा फिल्म करने आया था, 3 दिन का शूट था मेरा सरदार गब्बर सिंह का, तो वो भी चला गया मेरे हाथ से, पता नहीं मैंने कुछ किया होगा, एंड लाइक समझ रहा कि मैंने कुछ गड़बड़ कर दिया कुछ तो भी, you know, as an actor you are very vulnerable also on set, and it was a
Right,
huge
right.
mistake. And then suddenly that happened, and फिर उतने में मैं देख रहा हूँ कि कॉस्ट्यूम ज्यादा आ रहे हैं, ये आ रहे हैं, they are taking my trial, doing all the naap and everything, and I'm like, what is happening? So somehow he was a Hindi speaking guy. So he told me, dude, you're not playing that character now, you are playing this character. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then the lady was like, listen, you're not supposed to go after 3 days now. You'll be here for 15-20 days because तुम अभी ये part play कर रहे हो. So I've shot for Sardar Gabbar Singh for like not less than 15-20 days, I guess, if I'm not wrong. It was back in 2014, I guess. 14 or 15, if I'm not wrong.
2015,
I,
2015.
15, yeah. And then when जब मैंने फिल्म में खुद को देखा तो डूड आई एम होल्डिंग वन बैग एंड पवन कल्याण की एंट्री है और मैं इधर डर रहा हूँ उधर डर रहा हूँ, and that's about it. And suddenly there's this one scene where I'm lying and dying. That's about it. For 20 days I was ittusa, not even a junior artist. Like junior artists are like, I think उनके भी उससे ज्यादा रोल होते होंगे. From there I started, and like here I'm sitting and talking to you. So just do your job. My whole point is just true to your work, just true to your like instinct and everything, and respect your director's vision. Like just respect that. You will get what is like whatever is there in the destiny, और आपके लिए जो भी है वो आपको मिल जाता है, चाहे कितना भी रोल कटे भाई, कितना भी रोल कटे, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, बिंदास
Yeah,
काम
what is
करते
yours
रहना है.
will be yours. Yeah. It
Yeah,
has to
yeah,
be.
yeah.
There's no other
It
way.
will be, yeah, it will be. Nobody can like, वो आपसे कोई नहीं छीन सकता.
Yes.
So, yeah.
This question is to both of you guys. Actually, it came from audience, and I am rephrasing it in a way. Do you have any Lipika in your life? The right question was, are there any real life inspirations? But I'm paraphrasing it in a bit. Do you have any Lipika in your life? A moment.
Yeah, I mean, for me, yes, I will not lie. Yes, of course. I don't know about Sidhu.
Every person,
Or it's only toxic,
yeah,
toxic.
I don't know about. Okay, so like there are bits and pieces that you sort of gather from each woman that you
Right.
meet in your
Yeah.
life. It's like a puzzle. It's like a puzzle. You take one piece from here and one piece from a woman, one quality from a woman, and then that puzzle takes a shape or takes a form.
Yes.
But then forget about you having a Lipika in your life. We all have a Lipika within us.
Yeah, and you know, also Lipika, it's and you know, like me and Sidhu, we have discussed about this also. Okay, like Lipika could have been a boy, not Lipika,
Could have
then
been a
some other
boy.
person,
Actually,
you
yes.
know, like some other person. My whole point is it's not about the girl thing. It's more about that, and Lipika and Vidyut, all of them, whomsoever were there in the film, they all are like amalgamation of all those people who are there in your life, who have
Absolutely.
supported you at some point. कहीं ना कहीं जो आपके जीवन में थे, उन्होंने किसी मोड़ पे आपकी हेल्प की होगी. I'll share you one छोटू सा किस्सा. Like मैं एक बार बहुत ही फंसा हुआ था मेरी लाइफ में किसी चीज को लेकर, कुछ तो हुआ था एंड समथिंग, और मैं एक ऐसा पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट में ट्रेवल कर रहा था. द गाय वाज सिटिंग राइट नेक्स्ट टू मी, ही वाज ऑन कॉल विद समवन, एंड देन मैं जहां फंसा हूं मेरी लाइफ में, somehow he was talking to somebody else on call, and I was not listening the other guy who was there on the call, right? बट जो भी ये बोल रहा है वो मुझे सुनाई दे रहा था, और ये जो उसको सजेशन दिया इस आदमी ने उसे, वो सजेशन मेरे काम आ गए, you know, and I was so stuck, and I'm like, dude, what, like ये क्या था? तो हम सबके जीवन में बहुत सारे लोग आते हैं जो लिपिका ही होते हैं. वो तो because it was a film, so we couldn't show इतने सारी जनता,
Of
but
course.
somehow people they do come in life, and then they like, yeah.
They do their job and
They solve a lot of
ambiguity.
solve a lot of things for you in
Yes.
mysterious ways.
Yes.
So Lipika, yes, Lipika is a accumulation of
Yes.
a lot of
Actually, like you
characters.
said, I mean, towards the end of the film, you know, I would have thrown away my phone if they had hooked up.
Oh, yeah.
I would have thrown away my phone, the screen, if they would have hooked up. because it was such a genuine thing. I mean, you rightly said, it might be probably amalgamation of all the characters that we meet in our life at one point or the other, and who, you know, push that particular problem aside a bit, or make us push the problem a bit. So I am actually, you know what, more than Lipika's character, I want a friend like the Vidyut guy in my life. No matter what I do in my life,
I'll stick around. I'll stick around.
He's the fallback guy.
And that is what I think we all have like people like Vidyut in our life, you know. Maybe because see, life goes on, चलती रहती है, हम बहुत सारी चीजों में, अब हमारी शादी हो जाती है, हमारे बच्चे हो जाते हैं, हमारे जो दोस्त होते हैं उनके बच्चे हो जाते हैं, उनकी शादियां हो जाती हैं, या नहीं भी शादियां होती हैं, तो कहीं ना कहीं रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज बढ़ती चली जाती हैं. तो हो सकता है कि वो जो फ्रीक्वेंसी थी वो कम हो जाए, बट आई गेस दैट लव बिटवीन फ्रेंड्स, they are there, man. Like they're always there. Yeah, like so. Yeah.
And also the film at a philosophical level, the film talks about unconditional love that is originated from self-love. So if you can love yourself, you can unconditionally love
Actually,
the other person. You can always
yeah.
give your all only when you have that much to offer
Right,
or
right,
dispose
right,
of to another
right.
individual. So it talks about that at a philosophical level. हाँ, कितने unconditional हो सकते हो आप?
Interesting. Let me check if I have any more audience questions here. Okay, who's Lipika? Okay, this is the one we have, man. Who is Lipika?
Yeah, who is Lipika? I don't know who is Lipika. Lipika is Lipika.
Lipika is Lipika. Fair enough. So, how? I mean, this is a two-parter question. One is for Varun. Like when you have taken up direction for your own film, what are the changes? What did you learn? Because you are the actor and you are the director. Normally, what happens on a set is there is. I mean, I think someone said this in an interview with Anubhav Chopra. I forgot who he is. Actor is the least responsible person on the set. He has to sit at one place and learn his lines.
Yeah.
So on set, before coming to the set, the preparation and all, that's a different thing altogether. Actor is the least responsible person on the set. Others are the people who are actually working. So from a non-working zone to working zone, when you transit, you have to carry 100 headaches inside your head. I have worked with actors who directed their own films, and trust me, they were a bit unbearable to at one point, because they're taking way too much responsibility, and there has to be some or the other outlet for them. So there will be disagreements, there will be shoutings and all. So how did you maintain your sanity as an actor, and how did you express your insanity as a director? This is one question for you. And this the second part. See, Varun is taking upon Siddanth for you. Varun is taking upon the responsibility of being a director, and you yourself are also a director. So how much did you chime in here? How much did you not chime in here in the aspect of direction? So go ahead.
Varun, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll tell you. So see, being there on set as a director, it's like you're taking care of each and every department,
right?
And then you are also working there as an actor. So like I said before also, like if you know how to detach your thing, like then it becomes really easy. World behind the camera is very chaotic, but then you can't just bring that chaos into that character which you are portraying in the film. So somehow I was like, okay, I have taken up this entire challenge or a responsibility or whatever it is. But then I'll make sure that I will not like fall back. Like I'm not going to ruin that character, which is so dear to me, like, because again, like if you're directing or if you're acting, somebody has put उनका सारा किसी ने आपके उस लेवल का ट्रस्ट फॉर्म करके दिया है, वो कहानी दी है या वो किरदार आपको निभाने के लिए दिया है, या फिर somehow you are directing that entire thing. So I'm like, I just have to be responsible for everything. Okay, in my mind, I was like that there, and I'm pretty much sure that, like, whatever is happening here, there were moments when I will not lie. I was shouting. I was shouting. I was fighting with my crew, and I was fighting with my technicians also. But then I never let that entire thing overpower my me as an actor.
Yes.
So yeah, like
Compartmentalization, basically.
yeah. So that detachment was there. Like no matter what, here, even if I'm crying here and there, if I have to go and laugh, I'm just going there and laughing at. And you to have seen the film, so I'm just telling you, like I tried be in that character as much as I could, of course, like, and I was also learning, so I did whatever I could for the part. And like I said, like we all are, or at least I am. I'm work in progress, and I'm learning every day, every bit, every time, every passing time. So yeah, it was challenging, but then you should also, you can't just, you have to justify that part also, na? Part as a director and then as an actor. So
There is no choice other than to manage. Right.
yes, you have to do that. Otherwise, just don't do it. Just
Right.
don't.
Right.
Yeah. So I would say, yeah, if you know how to detach, it's not that difficult.
Actually, when you mentioned about that smile on set, I smiled. There was a huge smile on my face when you looked at the pictures and you expressed your laughter a bit louder.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That's probably the first time you have laughed in the entire film.
In the film, yeah.
And that I have. I mean, my lips went wide. All I can say is that it was very
Okay.
beautiful to see.
That was the idea of that scene as well, Aryan.
Yeah.
That was the
Yeah.
idea. Like when Varun Bhai and myself we used to discuss. It is one of our favorite scenes because the confrontation between Lipika and Joy in that particular scene is definitely a scene that is very dear to me, very close to my heart. And the way he performed, and towards the denouement of that scene, towards the end of that scene, the smile, it just lights up the entire. I don't know. There's some spiritual.
Yeah, there are many ways to portray it actually, and he picked the ideal way to portray it. The laughter was loud enough that
It caught on to you. It caught on to you. It was
yes,
contagious.
it caught on me. It was so beautiful. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Arey.
I don't know. I have zero idea. Like, that is why I was saying that when you are into the character,
Yes,
you
yes.
just be that character and then चीजें होती हैं. Like, of course, हमने ये बातें की थी और कई बार मेरे disagreements हो जाते थे. But then, like, but you just can't, आप नहीं हर चीज पे disagree कर सकते क्योंकि जिनके दिमाग में ये चीजें चल रही हैं वो सही है. और सिद्धू ने मेरे को time and again he was like, no, you have to understand, this is it, like. And I was like, yeah, I'll see the pictures and maybe he will not laugh only.
Okay.
And he'll be like, okay, there will be, because there are moments when you just realize things, right? That certain sense of realization. And but then it was there, and और वो बहुत natural हो गया.
Organically, हाँ, organically.
क्या देखा था
organically
तुमने?
हो
What
गया.
did you watch that made you chuckle like that?
There were pictures from my own Humpy trip, like whatever I was watching.
Okay.
So there was this, there was the photo which जो मैं देख रहा था उसके पीछे की जो back story थी, और जो सिद्धू ने बहुत अच्छा वो जो ये बादल और आसमान का जो zone था. So he created that fictional world, and I sort of gelled it with my own personal world. But it was one of the pictures from my own Humpy trip. and the person who clicked that picture and the conversation which we had, and that came in my mind, and I was like, okay, this is. So that is what I'm saying. It's sometimes it's all magical because you
right.
आपको as an actor थोड़ा सा emotional memory लेके चलना होता है, बाकी writer करता है.
Yeah.
Writer सब कर देता है यार. बस
You
हम
know,
वो between the lines, if you are able to understand between the lines, then half of the job is done. You don't have to put extra to the table if your writer is that brilliant. I would say,
Sid,
yeah.
Yeah. So what happens is when when I get contacts to ask me to interview actors, it gets really difficult for me to ask any questions to them, because as an actor I know what they're going to say. As an actor, I know when Varun I was answering, I could actually see myself doing all that. There is nothing like you said. It's reading between the lines. It's not the lines that are there. So I mean, I'm pretty much aware. There's nothing much to say. Also, it's when there is script right in front of you, you just it just takes you over. Probably. I mean, you can vouch for this one. Script
Yeah,
just
yeah.
takes you in, right?
Because वो देखो ना, एक्टिंग में कैसा होता है कि एक्टिंग में आपको बोलते हैं ना कि that truthfulness is very important. That all that buzz around the realism and natural and all of that, I don't know about anything. I'm not a trained actor. I have my guru, like वो भी मैं एकलव्य वाले जोन में सीखा है उनसे, क्योंकि उन्होंने मुझको श्री दिव्येंदु भट्टाचार्य जी जी
मैंने
तो
थैंक यू में देखा था.
yeah. So he's my guru, he's my mentor, he's my bestest buddy in Bombay. And like we chill together, we spend a lot of time together and we jam together. But उनसे कभी मैंने तालीम नहीं ली, या तो उनको देख के सीखा है, जब वो लोगों को सिखा रहे होते थे तो उनसे सीखा. और मैं बोल रहा था आपको कि जो फिल्म मैंने लीड की थी उसमें मैं और वो ही थे, और वो मुझे तब से एक ही चीज बोल रहे हैं कि तेरा जो नेचुरल वाला जोन है ना, यू जस्ट कीप दैट नेचुरल का थिंग, बिकॉज तू ट्रेन होने गया ना तो वो सब खिचड़ी पक जाएगी. तो you just don't go there and get trained and all of that. But then you learn throughout the entire thing. अभी जो मैं कल मैंने जो भी दिन बिताया होगा वहां से 10 नए एक्सपीरियंसेस लिए होंगे जो मेरे में आज जुड़ गए, और वो कल को शायद मेरे पर्दे पे वो मैं निभा पाऊँ. तो आई थिंक वो सारी चीजें बहुत मैटर करती हैं. और आप ट्रू रहो, ट्रूथफुल रहो, जस्ट बी इन दैट जोन. आप जो भी सीन चल रहा है, आपको जो ब्रीफ मिला है, आप उसको बहुत अच्छे से सुनो. यू हैव टू बी अ वेरी गुड लिसनर, क्योंकि आपका जो डायरेक्टर आपको ब्रीफ दे रहा है वो आप तक बहुत ही अच्छे से पहुंचना चाहिए. और अगर आपने आपके कान खुले रखे हैं ना, तो जब आपका को एक्टर व्हेन ही इज लाइक व्हेन यू आर एक्टिंग इज व्हाट एक्टिंग इज रिएक्टिंग टू द लाइंस और टू द इमोशन जो भी आपके सामने उस मूवमेंट पे चल रहा है. तो so yeah, like I'm like, okay, so that is what I have understood through my like मेरी जर्नी से जो भी मुझे समझ में आया है अब तक, वो यही है कि you just be truthful and just be attentive और अच्छा listener हो. That's it. You don't have to do any extra prep for anything.
So Sid, you and direction, why how much did you chime in and how much did you not?
So I'll be very honest with Joy. Although I was not present in the sets, I was not an active part of the production of the film or the principal photography of the film. But I always felt like I, at some point, directed the film or co-directed the film at the script level itself. So, as Varun Bhai just mentioned, what I did was I gave the lines for the film, and I gave enough scope for all the actors to read between the lines as well, and also to the director to read between the lines. तो लाइंस तो मैंने दी थी, लेकिन लाइंस के अलावा मैंने रीडिंग बिटवीन द लाइंस का जो स्पेस था उसको भी मैंने टैप किया for the director. So I left those blank spaces. I gave enough space for him to sort of enter and to interpret the text in his own way, which he beautifully did. And the way he translated the script into a film, you've seen that, and all those finer details that went into making the film, he is responsible for that. And I understand, at the end of the day, I know the plight of a director. I know what he is up for when he enters the set. I know that there are about at least 10 to 12 people that he has to convince. and he has to get convinced with what is on paper. So all these things, I tried my best to reduce whatever I could in terms of the dilemma that could have been potentially produced if I would have chimed in. And I know where to cut my director's hat. I know where to take my director's hat off. I pretty much knew that I was not the director of the film, but I also knew that I was taking care of the creative logistics of the film. I was getting day-to-day updates of the film. I knew that if there is a line that is being altered, it is being mentioned to me, or the mention of it being altered is getting to me. It is not like they're doing it all by themselves. So it was hands-on. So thanks to Varun Bhai for keeping it hands-on, and at the same time, the last thing that I sort of like the last thing I told him after we finished the script, and it was he Varun Bhai, now we're done with the script. We finished writing the script. Now destroy the script. और फिर वरुण ने बोला, क्या बात कर रहे हो तुम, मैं इतने पैसे इन्वेस्ट कर रहा हूँ, मैं खर्च कर रहा हूँ तेरे विजन को देखकर ही तो मैं ये सब कर रहा हूँ, ये no 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 not in that sense, but what I meant was, at the end of the day, now it is your medium that has to take custody. It is your medium that has to take the front seat, and now you are the guiding light. And if there is a need for you to alter the script or tweak the script, you have all the freedom to. And I won't mind it one bit, because I understand what goes into directing a film or making a film. Yeah. So that was pretty much clear. Our roles and responsibilities that way were always on point.
Obviously.
Yeah, it was always on point. When if he's directing the film, I shouldn't. But then yeah, there were certain directorial decisions that he always used to discuss with me, and there were always those to and fro conversations that we had about the film. So that way it was very sorted. I guess we never had any creative argument that way. We were on the same bandwidth, or
Same
we
man.
were aligned in our thoughts more often than not. Yeah.
I think Varun Bhai's girlfriend is messaging me, smiling.
Message you? No.
I will see message. He's smiling, looking at the computer. So
No.
I guess he's smiling at the conversation.
The conversation which and that was the day, like he had said the exact words. So I was laughing on those things.
that's okay.
Yeah, it is important for a director to at some point think of the right.
Fair enough. Okay. I think that concludes our session pretty much. Believe me, I want to talk to you guys more, but I have already gotten complaints that our length is a bit extra. I mean, 1 hour interviews, people are like, normal audience. I mean, filmy buffs, they'll watch it. Film circles people, when I promote it to normal audience in my office and all, they're saying, oh, 40 minutes interview and all. So I have to cut down on these certain things. Okay. Thank you for joining, Varun, and thank you, Siddanth, for joining.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us, man. Thanks for having us. It was lovely discussing about Joy. It was
Same.
lovely.
And I'm glad that you watched the film, you liked the film.
Yes,
Thank you
so
very much.
What? And I wish that you would. I mean, I don't know how you're going to do it. I wish this film would take platforms of Netflix or Prime or something else, because these are the top ones, and you guys, this film has that scope. Once you release the trailer, I mean, you have released the trailer, but once the trailer catches to audience, it has all the aspects of a mainstream film, becoming a mainstream film. So push it as much as you can, guys, because
We'll try.
it's a really good film. I want people to watch it. I mean, believe me, I have. I mean, normally I can't promote. I mean, me and Sid, we discussed these things. I can't promote. I feel very shy promoting something, but I have promoted your film.
Wow.
I mean,
I
feel very shy in promoting, because I don't think I have the power or authority to make people watch me. If they like, they'll watch me. They'll they'll listen to me. I just put my product out there. I mean, I'm very shy in promoting, but I have promoted your film because I liked it so much and I want people to watch it.
But you doing your bit is all that means.
Well,
It means a lot. It means a lot, Aryan. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Thank you so very much.
so that's the thing. Thank you guys for joining us, both of you. And thank you, audience, for watching this one. Teddy Cinema Saloon presents Aryan Talks. And Teddy Cinema Saloon is a group, is a community of actors, writers, filmmakers, everyone. So we are part of it. As part of Teddy Cinema Saloon, this Aryan Talks is happening. So thank you, audience, for joining us. Please like, share, and subscribe. Okay, I am ending the recording here. We can talk. We can still talk. Okay.